First contact, the arrival. The skies over New York City darkened unnaturally on a crisp autumn morning. Dr. Elena Rees, lead astrophysicist at the Global Space Research Institute, squinted at her computer screen, baffled by the readings flooding her system. Electromagnetic disturbances unlike anything she'd ever seen were causing havoc with satellites and communication networks worldwide. "This can't be right," she muttered, pushing a strand of graying hair behind her ear. Her fingers flew across the keyboard, cross-referencing data from observatories around the globe. The results were always the same. Something massive was entering Earth's atmosphere, defying all known laws of physics. As panicked reports began flooding in from every corner of the planet, the truth became undeniable. Humanity was no longer alone in the universe. The alien ship, if it could be called that, materialized above Manhattan in a shimmering haze of blue energy. It was breathtaking and terrifying all at once, a structure of impossible size and geometry, all sleek curves and pulsing lights. Traffic screeched to a halt as millions craned their necks skyward, equal parts awe and fear etched on their faces. In Washington, D.C., President Amelia Chen sat stone-faced in the Situation Room, surrounded by grim-faced military brass and ashen-faced advisors. "What are our options?" she asked, her voice steady despite the gravity of the situation. General Marcus Blackwood, chairman of the Joint Chiefs, cleared his throat. "Madam President, I strongly advise against any aggressive action. We're dealing with technology far beyond our comprehension. A show of force could be catastrophic." The president nodded, her eyes never leaving the live feed of the alien vessel. "Agreed. We open communications. Let's hope they're here to talk." As world leaders scrambled to formulate a response, Dr. Rees found herself thrust into the spotlight. Her expertise in theoretical xenobiology made her the closest thing humanity had to an expert on alien life. Within hours, she was on a military transport to New York, her mind racing with possibilities. The alien ship remained motionless above the city for 3 agonizing days. Power grids flickered, electronic devices behaved erratically, and a sense of mounting tension gripped the globe. Then, without warning, a beam of shimmering light burst from the vessel's underside, touching down in Central Park. Dr. Rees stood at the edge of a hastily established military perimeter, her heart pounding. A figure was materializing within the beam, humanoid, but unmistakably alien. Its skin was a pale lavender, its limbs long and graceful. Most striking were its eyes, large, multifaceted orbs that seemed to take in everything at once. The alien raised a 6-fingered hand in what appeared to be a gesture of peace. Then, to the astonishment of all present, it spoke in perfect English. "Greetings, people of Earth. We are the Zarkari. We come seeking alliance and exchange." The days that followed were a whirlwind of diplomatic negotiations, scientific revelations, and cultural exchange. The Zarkari, it turned out, were representatives of a vast interstellar confederation spanning thousands of worlds. They had been observing Earth for centuries, waiting for humanity to reach a level of technological advancement that would allow for meaningful interaction. Dr. Rees found herself working alongside the alien scientists, marveling at their advanced understanding of physics, biology, and the nature of the universe itself. The potential benefits to humanity were staggering: clean energy, medical breakthroughs, faster-than-light travel. It seemed too good to be true. And perhaps it was. As the initial euphoria of first contact began to fade, unsettling patterns emerged. The Zarkari were maddeningly vague about certain aspects of their civilization and technology. They deflected questions about their military capabilities and the full extent of their confederation. Most troubling to Dr. Rees were the subtle tests they seemed to be conducting, probing humanity's reactions, assessing our strengths and weaknesses. 1 month after the Zarkari's arrival, Dr. Rees sat in a classified briefing with President Chen and top military officials. The atmosphere was tense, a far cry from the optimism of those first days. "We believe the Zarkari may not be as benevolent as they claim," General Blackwood stated bluntly. Our intelligence suggests they're assessing Earth's potential as a client world, or worse, a conquest. Dr. Reeves felt a chill run down her spine. She had come to the same unsettling conclusion. Their technology is centuries beyond ours, she added. If they decide to turn hostile, we'd be defenseless. President Chen's expression was grim. Then we need to buy time. Dr. Reeves, I want you to continue working closely with the Zarkari. Learn everything you can. General Blackwood, accelerate all defense research and development. If there's a way to level the playing field, we need to find it. As the meeting adjourned, Dr. Reeves couldn't shake a sense of foreboding. Humanity stood at a crossroads, facing a threat unlike any in our history. The coming days would test our species like never before. Little did anyone realize that humanity's greatest strength, our adaptability, creativity, and sheer determination, was about to be unleashed in ways that would shock not only the Zarkari, but the entire galaxy. The next morning, Dr. Reeves returned to the joint human-Zarkari research facility established in what was once the American Museum of Natural History. Her alien counterpart, a being who called itself Xylos, greeted her with its unsettling, multifaceted gaze. Greetings, Dr. Reeves. I trust you are prepared for another day of enlightenment. Elena forced a smile, hyper-aware of the subtle condescension in Xylos' tone. Always, Xylos. I was hoping we could discuss your faster-than-light drive technology in more detail today. Xylos made a gesture that Elena had come to interpret as amusement. But your species is not yet ready for such advancements. Perhaps we should focus on more appropriate areas of study. The exchange set the tone for the days that followed. Every attempt to gain deeper insight into Zarkari technology was met with deflection or patronizing explanations that revealed nothing of substance. Elena's frustration grew, but she maintained a facade of eager cooperation. Meanwhile, behind the scenes, humanity was far from idle. In hidden laboratories and classified facilities around the globe, scientists and engineers worked tirelessly, reverse engineering what little Zarkari technology they could access. Military strategists pored over every scrap of information, seeking weaknesses or advantages. 2 months after first contact, a breakthrough came from an unexpected source. Dr. Aisha Patel, a quantum computing specialist in Bangalore, discovered a way to decrypt some of the Zarkari's secure communications. What she found confirmed their worst fears. The Zarkari were not ambassadors of a benevolent confederation. They were scouts for expansionist empire, assessing Earth's defenses and resources for potential conquest. Humanity's window of opportunity was rapidly closing. When Dr. Reeves learned of this, she knew their time for subtle maneuvering was over. In a secure video conference with world leaders, she laid out a daring plan. We need to turn their own arrogance against them, she explained. The Zarkari believe us to be primitive and predictable. We'll use that assumption to catch them off guard. Rising tensions, misunderstandings, and provocations. The weeks following Dr. Patel's discovery were a blur of clandestine activity. While maintaining a facade of cooperation with the Zarkari, humanity secretly prepared for the possibility of interstellar war. Dr. Elena Reeves found herself walking a precarious tightrope. By day, she continued her work with Xylos, feigning ignorance and awe at carefully controlled demonstrations of Zarkari technology. By night, she pored over decrypted alien communications, searching for any advantage Earth could exploit. One evening, as she was leaving the research facility, Elena noticed something odd. A group of Zarkari were huddled near their ship, engaged in what appeared to be a heated discussion. Their typically melodious language had taken on a harsh, guttural quality. As she watched, one of the aliens made a gesture towards the sky, a movement that seemed unmistakably aggressive. Elena's blood ran cold. Were reinforcements on the way? Had Earth's time run out? She immediately reported her observations to General Blackwood. The general's face was grim as he absorbed the information. This complicates things, he said. We're not ready for a full-scale confrontation. We need more time. President Chen, joining the call, made a bold decision. Then we create a distraction. Dr. Rees, it's time to put your plan into action. The next day, Elena arrived at the research facility with a spring in her step and excitement in her voice. "Silos," she called out, "we've had a breakthrough. You must come see this immediately." The Zarkari scientist regarded her with what passed for curiosity in its alien features. "A breakthrough, Dr. Rees? In what field?" Elena grinned. "Quantum entanglement. We've managed to create a stable link between particles over a distance of 100 kilometers. It's rudimentary compared to your technology, I'm sure, but for us, it's revolutionary." Silo's multifaceted eyes flickered, a sign Elena had learned to interpret as surprise. "That is unexpected," the alien said slowly. "Show me." Elena led Silos to a hastily prepared laboratory. What followed was a carefully choreographed demonstration, blending real scientific advancements with smoke and mirrors. The goal wasn't to truly impress the Zarkari, but to make them question their assumptions about human capabilities. As the demonstration concluded, Elena noticed a change in Silo's demeanor. The alien's usual condescension had been replaced by something closer to wariness. "This is most interesting, Dr. Rees," Silo said. "Perhaps we have underestimated your species' potential. I must confer with my superiors." As Silos hurried away, Elena allowed herself a small smile. Phase 1 of the plan was complete. Now came the hard part. Over the next few days, similar breakthroughs were reported around the globe. In Japan, scientists claimed to have developed a primitive form of anti-gravity. In Brazil, a team announced the successful manipulation of dark matter. Each announcement was carefully crafted to seem plausible, yet just beyond the Zarkari's expectations for human capability. The plan was audacious, combining misdirection, technological innovation, and sheer human audacity. It was a long shot, but with the fate of their world hanging in the balance, humanity had no choice but to bet everything on this one desperate gambit. As the first part of our story concludes, the stage is set for a confrontation that will determine the future of Earth. The Zarkari, confident in their superiority, have no idea that humanity is about to reveal depths of ingenuity and courage that will shake the very foundations of their empire. In the labs, war rooms, and hidden facilities across the globe, a new spirit of unity and determination takes hold. Humanity, with its back against the wall, prepares to show the galaxy why it should never be underestimated. The real battle for Earth is about to begin. The alien response was swift and predictable. More Zarkari ships appeared in Earth's orbit, ostensibly to assist in these exciting new developments. In reality, they were there to assess the sudden and unexpected leaps in human technology. Tensions began to rise. The Zarkari, no longer certain of their technological superiority, became more aggressive in their demands for access to Earth's resources and infrastructure. World leaders, briefed on the true nature of the alien presence, pushed back with a united front. In New Delhi, a Zarkari envoy stormed out of negotiations after being denied access to India's quantum research facilities. In Moscow, alien observers were barred from a supposed test of a new propulsion system. Each incident ratcheted up the pressure, bringing Earth and the Zarkari closer to open conflict. Through it all, Dr. Rees continued her work, gathering every scrap of information she could. It was during one late-night decryption session that she made a startling discovery. "General Blackwood," she said, her voice tense with excitement. "I found something. The Zarkari, they're not as united as we thought. There are factions within their empire, competing ideologies. Some of them don't agree with the policy of expansion and conquest." The general leaned forward, his eyes sharp. "Can we exploit this?" Elena nodded slowly. "Maybe, but we'd be playing with fire. If we push too hard, we could unite them against us. If we don't push hard enough, the expansionist faction will overrule the others." President Chen, listening in, made another crucial decision. "We push. Dr. Rees, I want you to leak information to the Zarkari about divisions within our own governments. Make them think we're as fractured as they are. The plan was dangerous but effective. Over the following weeks, carefully orchestrated leaks hinted at disagreements between nations, conflicting approaches to alien relations, and even the possibility of human factions willing to collaborate with the Zarkari against their own species. The alien response was everything they had hoped for. The Zarkari, believing they could exploit these divisions, became overconfident. They began to make mistakes, revealing more about their own technology and intentions than they had ever meant to. But the plan had unforeseen consequences. As tensions rose, incidents began to occur that neither side had anticipated. In orbit, a misunderstanding between a human satellite repair crew and a Zarkari patrol led to weapons being drawn. The situation was diffused, but barely. On the ground, protests erupted in major cities worldwide. Some demanded closer cooperation with the aliens, others called for their immediate expulsion from Earth. Clashes between opposing groups became increasingly violent. The situation came to a head when a group of human extremists attacked a Zarkari outpost in the Australian outback. The aliens responded with overwhelming force, leaving dozens dead and a crater visible from space. As news of the attack spread, the fragile peace between humanity and the Zarkari shattered. The alien ships in orbit began to power up their weapons. On the ground, Zarkari envoys delivered an ultimatum. Earth would submit to their rule or face annihilation. World leaders convened an emergency session. The room was thick with tension as they debated their options. "We're not ready," General Blackwood insisted. "If we go to war now, we'll be wiped out. And if we submit, we'll lose everything that makes us human," President Chen countered. "We've come too far to back down now." As the argument raged on, Dr. Rees sat quietly, her mind racing. In all the chaos and preparation, they had overlooked something crucial, something that might just turn the tide. "Wait," she said, her voice cutting through the noise. All eyes turned to her. "I have an idea. It's risky, maybe even crazy, but it might be our only chance." As Elena outlined her plan, a mix of hope and disbelief spread across the faces of Earth's leaders. It was audacious, unprecedented, and flew in the face of everything they thought they knew about interstellar warfare. But in that moment, with the fate of their world hanging in the balance, they realized it was exactly the kind of thinking that had defined humanity's greatest achievements. As the meeting adjourned, a new sense of purpose filled the room. The Zarkari had demanded Earth's surrender by dawn. They were about to learn why you should never corner a species known for thinking outside the box. The cosmic challenge, humanity put to the test. Dawn broke over a world holding its breath. In every major city, humans gathered around screens, waiting for the response to the Zarkari ultimatum. The alien ships loomed in the sky, weapons primed, a silent threat visible to all. In a secure bunker beneath the White House, President Chen stood before a global audience, her face a mask of determination. "People of Earth," she began, her voice steady despite the weight of the moment. "Today, we face a threat unlike any in our history. The Zarkari demand our surrender. Our response is this: we challenge you." A murmur of confusion rippled through the watching crowds. In orbit, the Zarkari commanders paused, uncertain. President Chen continued, "For millennia, humanity has settled its greatest disputes through contests of skill and will. We propose a series of challenges, tests that will prove which of our civilizations is truly worthy of dominance. If you win, Earth will submit to your rule. But if we win, you will leave our solar system and never return." The audacity of the proposal stunned both humans and aliens alike. Dr. Elena Rees, standing off camera, held her breath. This was the gambit they had bet everything on, appealing to the Zarkari's arrogance and their own love of competition. For agonizing hours, there was no response. Then, a transmission from the Zarkari flagship lit up screens worldwide. The alien leader, a being of imposing stature named Zorax, appeared. Humans, it said, its multifaceted eyes gleaming with what might have been amusement. Your proposal is unexpected. We accept your challenge. Prepare yourselves. The contests begin in 3 Earth days. As the transmission ended, a mix of relief and apprehension washed over humanity. They had bought time, but now the real test began. The next 72 hours were a frenzy of activity. In hidden bases around the world, the best and brightest of humanity prepared for the unknown challenges ahead. Dr. Reeves found herself at the center of it all, coordinating teams, analyzing Zarkari psychology, and trying to anticipate the nature of the contests. They'll try to stack the deck in their favor, she explained to a room full of Earth's top scientists and strategists. Expect challenges that play to their strengths: advanced physics, cosmic navigation, maybe even psionics. But remember, our greatest asset is our adaptability. We need to be ready for anything. As the deadline approached, 5 human champions were chosen, each representing a different facet of human expertise. Dr. Yuki Tanaka, a quantum physicist with a gift for unorthodox problem-solving. Captain Maria Suarez, a veteran pilot with unparalleled spatial awareness. Zain Arif, a teenage prodigy in mathematics and pattern recognition. Dr. Oluwaseun Adebayo, a xenobiologist specializing in extreme adaptations. And somewhat controversially, Alexander Volkov, a reformed hacker known for his ability to find exploits in any system. The first challenge was announced: cosmic navigation. In a simulated starfield, contestants would need to plot a course through a complex, ever-shifting maze of gravitational fields, radiation belts, and space-time anomalies. Captain Suarez stepped up, her eyes gleaming with determination. Her Zarkari opponent, a being seemingly made of swirling energy, regarded her with disdain. The simulation began. The alien moved with fluid grace, its course precise and efficient. But Maria, drawing on her experience flying experimental aircraft through unpredictable conditions, took risks that left spectators gasping. She carved a path through the cosmic obstacle course that was less about mathematical perfection and more about intuition and split-second adjustments. In the end, Maria's unorthodox approach prevailed. She crossed the finish line mere seconds before her alien competitor, scoring humanity's first victory. The Zarkari were visibly shaken. This was not how they had expected the contest to begin. The second challenge tested the limits of quantum manipulation. Dr. Tanaka faced off against a Zarkari scientist in a task requiring the precise control of subatomic particles to construct a stable micro-universe. The alien's technique was flawless, building layer upon layer with machine-like precision. But Yuki, thinking laterally, approached the problem from an entirely different angle. Instead of building from the bottom up, she created a cascading reaction that allowed the micro-universe to essentially grow itself, guided by carefully calibrated initial conditions. Her unorthodox method not only completed the task faster, but resulted in a more vibrant and stable micro-universe. Another point for humanity. The third challenge, however, proved to be a stark reminder of the Zarkari's advanced capabilities. In a test of psionic power, a field humanity had barely begun to explore, Zain Arif faced off against an alien telepath. The contest involved mentally unraveling a complex, multi-dimensional puzzle. Despite Zain's incredible pattern recognition skills, he was quickly overwhelmed by the alien's natural psionic abilities. Humanity suffered its first defeat. As the fourth challenge approached, the tension was palpable. Dr. Adebayo prepared to face a Zarkari bioengineer in a test of adaptive evolution. They would each be tasked with designing an organism capable of surviving on a harsh, constantly changing alien world. Oluwaseun's extensive knowledge of Earth's most extreme life forms proved invaluable. While the Zarkari created a single, highly specialized creature, Oluwaseun designed an ecosystem of interconnected organisms, each supporting the other's survival. Her holistic approach proved more resilient to the rapidly shifting conditions, securing another victory for Earth. With the score tied at 2-2, everything hinged on the final challenge. Alexander Volkov, the wild card of the human team, stepped up to face a Zarkari expert in a test of system infiltration and data extraction. The challenge took place in a virtual environment representing the most secure Zarkari database. The alien moved with practiced ease, slipping through defenses and extracting data packets with blinding speed. But Alexander had spent the previous days studying every scrap of Zarkari code they had managed to decrypt. He noticed patterns, hidden backdoors that even the aliens seemed unaware of. With a series of brilliant, unconventional moves, he not only matched his opponent's speed, but managed to lock the alien out of its own systems. As Alexander completed the challenge, a stunned silence fell over both humans and Zarkari. Against all odds, humanity had won the cosmic challenge. The Zarkari leader, Zorax, approached President Chen, its multifaceted eyes unreadable. "You have surprised us, humans," it said. "We underestimated your species' resourcefulness and adaptability. As agreed, we will depart your solar system." A cheer went up from the watching crowds, a wave of jubilation sweeping across the globe. But Dr. Rees, watching the alien carefully, sensed something left unsaid. As the Zarkari prepared to leave, Zorax turned to Elena. "You have won your freedom, Dr. Rees. But know this, you have also drawn the attention of powers beyond your imagination. The galaxy will be watching Earth with great interest." With those ominous words, the Zarkari departed, their ships vanishing into the depths of space. As humanity celebrated its victory, Elena couldn't shake a feeling of unease. They had survived this encounter, but at what cost? What new challenges awaited them in the cosmic arena they had so boldly entered? One thing was certain, Earth would never be the same again. The age of isolation was over. Humanity had announced its presence to the galaxy, for better or worse. As the sun set on this momentous day, Dr. Elena Rees gazed up at the stars, now filled with both promise and peril. The real journey, she realized, was just beginning. Unveiling strength, human ingenuity unleashed. In the months following the Zarkari departure, Earth entered a period of unprecedented global cooperation and scientific advancement. The knowledge gained from the alien encounter, combined with the burst of innovation spurred by the cosmic challenge, led to breakthroughs in fields ranging from energy production to medicine. Dr. Elena Rees found herself at the helm of a new international organization, the Terran Advanced Research and Defense Initiative, TRITI. Its mission was twofold: to push the boundaries of human scientific knowledge and to prepare Earth for future extraterrestrial encounters. 1 year after the Zarkari challenge, Elena stood before a packed auditorium at TRITI's newly constructed headquarters in Geneva. Scientists, military personnel, and government officials from around the world waited with bated breath for her announcement. "Ladies and gentlemen," Elena began, her voice steady but tinged with excitement, "I'm pleased to announce that today we take our first real step into the galactic community." With a gesture, she activated a holographic display behind her. A sleek spacecraft, unlike anything seen before, materialized in the air. "I present to you the TSV Horizon, Earth's first faster-than-light capable vessel." The crowd erupted in applause and gasps of awe. The ship was a marvel of human engineering, incorporating reversed-engineered Zarkari technology with innovative human designs. "The Horizon represents more than just a technological achievement," Elena continued. "It's a symbol of human potential, of our ability to rise to any challenge. But it's also a reminder of the responsibilities we now face as a spacefaring civilization." As the presentation concluded, Elena was approached by Captain Maria Suarez, the pilot who had won humanity's first victory in the cosmic challenge. "So, Doc," Maria said with a grin, "when do we take her out for a spin?" Elena smiled back, but there was a hint of worry in her eyes. "Soon, Maria, but we need to be careful. Remember Zorax's warning, the galaxy is watching us." Over the next few weeks, the Horizon underwent rigorous testing. Each successful trial brought a mix of elation and apprehension. Humanity was on the brink of a new era, but the risks were as great as the potential rewards. Then, 3 months after the Horizon's unveiling, everything changed. Elena was working late in her office when an urgent call came through from TRDI's Deep Space Monitoring Station. Dr. Reeves, the breathless voice of Dr. Tanaka, came through. "We're picking up a signal. It's like nothing we've ever seen before." Elena's heart raced as she processed the information. "Is it Zakari?" "No," Yuki replied. "It's something else. Something bigger." Within hours, the nature of the signal became clear. It was an invitation, or perhaps a summons, to a gathering of spacefaring civilizations. The coordinates provided pointed to a location deep in the Andromeda Galaxy. World leaders convened an emergency session. The debate was fierce. Some argued for caution, suggesting that Earth was not ready for such an encounter. Others saw it as an opportunity that couldn't be missed. In the end, the decision was made. Earth would answer the call. Tables turned, alien regret and human triumph. As Elena and her team stepped onto the vast space station of the Galactic Concordat, they were immediately overwhelmed by the diversity of life forms surrounding them. Beings of all shapes, sizes, and compositions moved about with purpose, their appendages and sensory organs defying easy categorization. A tall, willowy creature with iridescent skin approached them. "Welcome, Terrans," it said, its voice resonating directly in their minds. "I am Kyle Nara, your liaison to the Concordat. We have much to discuss." Over the next few days, the human delegation was given a crash course in galactic politics. They learned that the Concordat was a loose alliance of over 1,000 spacefaring civilizations, united by shared principles of scientific advancement and peaceful coexistence. However, it was not without its conflicts and power struggles. During one of their briefings, Exile Nara dropped a bombshell. "The Zakari Empire has petitioned for your immediate removal from this gathering," it said, its mental voice tinged with concern. "They claim your species is dangerously unpredictable and not yet ready for galactic integration." Elena felt a surge of anger. "They're the ones who came to our world uninvited," she protested. "We only defended ourselves." Solonara's large, compound eyes blinked rapidly. "Yes, and the manner of that defense has caused quite a stir. Many in the Concordat are fascinated by your species' approach to the challenges. Others are concerned." It was then that Elena realized the true nature of their situation. Earth wasn't just being introduced to the galactic community, it was on trial. Over the next week, the human delegation was subjected to a series of inquiries and tests, not unlike the challenges they have faced against the Zakari. But this time, the stakes were even higher. Their performance would determine Earth's standing in the galactic community. Dr. Tanaka was pitted against the finest scientific minds in the galaxy, tasked with solving theoretical problems that pushed the boundaries of known physics. Her unorthodox approaches and intuitive leaps left her alien counterparts baffled and impressed. Zain Arif's mathematical prowess was put to the test in a multi-dimensional strategy game that made chess look like tic-tac-toe. His ability to recognize patterns and predict outcomes several moves in advance earned him the respect of even the most skeptical observers. Dr. Adebayo's knowledge of biology was challenged in simulations of ecosystem design for worlds with environments humans had never imagined. Her holistic approach and understanding of symbiotic relationships proved invaluable. Captain Suarez's piloting skills were tested in a simulator that pushed the limits of spatial awareness and reflexes. Her performance in navigating an asteroid field while under fire from multiple directions became the stuff of legend among the Concordat's spacefaring races. But it was Alexander Volkov who truly turned the tables. In a test of cybersecurity, he was pitted against the Concordat's most advanced AI systems. Not only did he hold his own, but he also discovered vulnerabilities in the Concordat's networks that had gone unnoticed for centuries. This last revelation caused an uproar among the Concordat species. Some called for the humans to be quarantined, fearing the potential havoc they could wreak. Others argued that humanity's unique perspectives and abilities could be invaluable to the galactic community. As the debate raged, Elena was summoned before the Concordat's High Council. The chamber was vast, with representatives from hundreds of species arrayed in tiered seating. At the center stood the Zarkari delegation, led by none other than Zorax. "Humans," Zorax began, its voice dripping with disdain, "you have no place here. Your species is volatile, unpredictable. You are a threat to galactic stability." Elena took a deep breath, steeling herself. This was the moment that would define humanity's future. She stepped forward, her voice clear and strong. "Members of the High Council," she began, "it's true that humanity is young compared to many of you. We've made mistakes, and we have much to learn. But consider this. In the span of a single year, we went from our first contact with an alien species to standing here before you." She gestured to her team. "We've demonstrated our ability to adapt, to innovate, to see problems from angles you might never have considered. Yes, we're unpredictable, but that's our strength, not our weakness." Elena's words seemed to resonate with many in the chamber. She continued, her confidence growing. "We don't ask for special treatment. We ask for the opportunity to prove ourselves, to contribute to this grand tapestry of galactic civilization. Give us that chance, and I promise you won't regret it." A murmur ran through the assembled aliens. Even Zorax seemed taken aback by the force of Elena's argument. After what seemed like an eternity, the head of the High Council, a being of pure energy contained within a crystalline structure, spoke. "Dr. Elena Rees of Earth, you have spoken well for your species. While concerns remain, we cannot ignore the potential you represent. Therefore, we extend to Earth probationary membership in the Galactic Concordat." The chamber erupted in a cacophony of alien vocalizations, some approving, others protesting. But the decision was made. Humanity had crossed a threshold there was no returning from. As Elena and her team prepared to return to Earth with news of their cosmic diplomacy, Zorax approached her. "You surprise us yet again, human," it said, its multifaceted eyes glinting with what might have been respect. "Perhaps we were hasty in our judgment of your species. This is not over, but for now, consider us intrigued." As the horizon broke orbit from the Concordat station, Elena gazed out at the star-filled vista. They were returning home victorious, but she knew this was just the beginning. Humanity had won its place at the galactic table, but now they had to prove they deserved to keep it. The adventure that began with an alien ultimatum had transformed into something far greater, humanity's first steps into a vast, complex, and wondrous galactic civilization. Whatever challenges lay ahead, Elena was certain of one thing: humanity would face them with the same spirit of innovation, adaptability, and determination that had brought them to this moment. As Earth grew larger in the viewscreen, Elena allowed herself a smile. The future was uncertain, but it was brighter and more exciting than she had ever dared to imagine. A new era, forging interstellar alliances. The return of the horizon to Earth marked the dawn of a new age for humanity. As news of their probationary membership in the Galactic Concordat spread, a wave of excitement and apprehension swept across the globe. The world that had once seemed so vast now felt small in comparison to the cosmic community they had joined. Dr. Elena Rees found herself at the center of this transformative period. As she stood before the United Nations General Assembly, she could feel the weight of history on her shoulders. "Distinguished representatives," she began, her voice steady despite her nerves, "we stand at a crossroads. Our probationary status in the Galactic Concordat is both an opportunity and a challenge. We have a chance to shape not just the future of our planet, but our role in the greater galaxy." Over the following months, Earth underwent rapid changes. The influx of knowledge from the Concordat led to technological leaps that would have seemed like science fiction mere years ago. Clean energy became a reality overnight, solving the climate crisis. Medical breakthroughs extended human lifespans and cured diseases once thought incurable. But these advancements came with their own set of challenges. Social structures were dependent as traditional jobs became obsolete. The gap between those who could adapt to the new technologies and those who couldn't threatened to create new divisions. Elena and her team worked tirelessly to ensure that the benefits of galactic integration were distributed as evenly as possible. They established education programs to retrain workers for the new cosmic economy. TRDI expanded, becoming a global network of research centers dedicated to adapting alien technologies for human use. As Earth's probationary period neared its halfway point, the Concordat sent observers to assess humanity's progress. Among them, much to Elena's surprise, was Zorax. "Your species continues to confound expectations," the Zarkari said as they toured a newly established spaceport in Kenya. "You've adapted our technologies in ways we never considered." Elena nodded, a hint of pride in her voice. "That's always been our strength. We see possibilities where others see limitations." But not all the news was positive. Reports began to trickle in of human extremist groups, fearful of Earth's changing status quo, launching attacks on alien visitors and sympathetic humans. Meanwhile, some members of the Concordate expressed concern about humanity's rapid military advancements, fearing a repeat of the Zarkari incident on a larger scale.